Okay, so I mean, the natural thing to ask about after that is heritability.
Yeah, another good question, really important question. There's absolutely no doubt that it does play a role. So like almost every other aspect of our physical and psychological being, genes play a role. So we inherit a certain amount, so obviously through our genetic makeup, which we inherit through our parents and grandparents, etc., we inherit a certain predisposition to things like happiness and optimism, etc. But like a lot of these other things, it's far more complex than just saying yes or no. So there's a couple of things to point out. One, it's definitely not 100%. If it was 100%, then it would be like, there's nothing I can do about it. According to the research, it probably makes up about 40 or 50% of the variance, which is significant, but not 100%.
Yeah.
The good news, I suppose, is that there are other factors over which we have much more control, because obviously we've got little control over our genes, that we can do something about. So there's the context or the situations we put ourselves in make a difference. There are what some psychologists have called intentional behaviours, so how we choose to go about our days. So the things that so for example, I've learnt that exercise is, I exercise regularly not just for the physical benefits, but the psychological benefits. For me, it's a potent antidepressant, stress buster, mood enhancer. Meditation is something I choose to do because it helps me, very much helps me manage my emotions. So there's a whole bunch of things that we can choose to do, coming back to something we talked about earlier, practicing kindness. We can choose to do these things, and if we choose to do the right things, that will significantly influence the extent to which we enjoy happiness. Now, the other part about that is, which is pretty fascinating, and it's pretty early from a scientific point of view, there's a relatively new discipline called epigenetics, which I'm not sure if you're familiar with, but so in very simple terms, what that means is how I choose to live my life affects the way my genes express themselves. So going back to that, even if my genes played a significant role, and they probably do, I can still influence that in a way by living my life in a certain way, which gives me even more control, in a sense, over my happiness.
To check out the full interview, there'll be a link somewhere. I'm sure you'll figure it out. You're an adult, presumably.